Hello guys, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing fine and I hope that you are amazing. In case this is your very first time here, karibu sana, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back, and always know that you are welcome. So in this video, I actually didn't intend to do this video, but I was actually just checking my bookshelf and I came across this book. I'm yet to read it. It's authored by Bruce Perry and Oprah, and it's entitled "What Happened to You?" I got to be thinking, like, what happened to you? Are there times when you do ask yourself, what happened to you? Like, you look into your life, you try to reflect back, perhaps 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and you try to compare yourself with the person that you are in the past. Let's say in this case, 5 years ago. So, or rather, let's use 10 years ago to be fair. So, what happened to you? If you're looking at your life right now, can you compare the person that you are today with the person that you were 5 years ago? Are the dreams that you had then really valid? Did you actualize them, or did you come to a point where you said, no, that was just a dream, and you let the dream slip right away from you and out of your fingers, it melted away like ice? Looking into your life right now and thinking about your past, would you sit down and ask yourself, what happened to me? This is not what I intended to do with my life. This is not whom I intended to be. Are there thoughts of regret? Are there thoughts where you wish, like, for the past 10 years, whatever has happened, I just wish that this was all a dream that I would wake up to and I would realize that it is not reality? Would you ask yourself, what happened to me? Because looking back, I am not the same person. Looking at this book, it's entitled "What Happened to You," and down there it has a subtopic written, "Conversations on Trauma, Resilience, and Healing." And at the back it's written, "Our earliest experiences shape our lives far down the road, and what happened to you provides powerful scientific and emotional insights into the behavioral patterns so many of us struggle to understand. Through this lens, we can build a renewed sense of personal self-worth and ultimately recalibrate our responses to circumstances, situations, and relationships." In other words, the key to reshaping our very lives. This book is going to change the way you see your life. Have you ever wondered, why did I do that? Or why can't I just control my behavior? Others may judge our reactions and think, what's wrong with that person? When questioning our emotions, it's easy to place the blame on ourselves, holding ourselves and those around us to an impossible standard. It is time we started asking a different question. What is wrong with you? What happened to you? Yeah, so these are stories about facing trauma and adversity by Oprah and Dr. Bruce Perry, who is a trauma expert, a renowned brain and trauma expert. So without going into the details of the book, just by looking at what happened to you, because this is what this video is all about. So as I was saying, is there a point where you get to ask yourself, what happened to me? Do you ever sit down, try to look back into the future, take back your mind in times, reminisce the moments of the past, remember the person that you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the goals you did set yourself, and try to compare them with the person that you are right now? Perhaps you've done the same, and perhaps you've done so, and if you've tried to compare, there could be 3 situations. In one situation, maybe you've already achieved those goals and set other goals. Perhaps you felt that those goals were too low and you have already achieved them and you needed to set higher goals for yourself. Well, congratulations if you've done that, and We are proud of you. Be proud of yourself, and the universe is proud of you. In a second situation, you might have set some goals, but at the moment you have not achieved those goals. Perhaps you came to a point where you faced some inadequacy. There were many barriers across the way, change of circumstances, change of interest. Well, you still look back at those goals and feel like, even though I am yet to achieve those goals, I will still go for those goals. I will still achieve those dreams. Whatever life I wished for myself, I will still go for it. And you're still conscious to the fact that although you have not achieved those goals, they're still in your to-do plan, and time is the only restraint that you've not. Otherwise, they're still in your plans that you'll still achieve them. Well, if you're in that situation, keep pushing. You may not have achieved your goals at the time that you set, but as long as you're willing to go for them, well, keep pushing. And in the third situation, which is so unfortunate, you might have set goals for yourself, but at the moment you have achieved none of them, and still you're not ready to achieve any of them. And in this situation, you might have felt, well, perhaps I was just fantasizing, those goals are unachievable, that was just a dream, and dreams, after all, they never come true. And you have become conscious of the fact that you'll never achieve those dreams. You've given up on those dreams, and even when you look back, instead of thinking that you are a focused person who wanted a good life for themselves, who had good dreams, you keep looking back in your life and you are, I was so over ambitious, I was dreaming too much, I was going for the mountains that I knew I would never achieve. You feel like whatever goals you had set for yourself, or whatever life you had planned for yourself, it is just a fantasy. It is unfortunate whenever you get to that situations, and I feel like in that situations, in such a situation, that is where you need to ask yourself this deep question, like, what happened to you really? What happened to you? And go back to the drawing board. Like, ask yourself, what really happened to me? I dreamed this life for myself. This is the life I signed myself up for, and not the life that I'm living right now. You might have found that perhaps there are many reasons, and it could be like, one of them, there could be external factors. Perhaps the company that you came across, they made you believe that your dreams were impossible. They made you believe that those were just castles that you were building on the air. It was just a fantasy, and you'll never get there. And by virtue of having to surround yourself with such people whose dreams did not align with yours, you got into a situation where you stopped dreaming, and you believe like that was just a fantasy. You need to stop dreaming and stop fantasizing and fit into the mediocre life that they lived. And whenever you got into a such situation and you stop thinking as yourself, something happened to you. And this is the reason, if you're in that situation, so you need to go back to the drawing board, have a conversation with yourself, try to find out what happened to you, try to find out what exactly happened to you. Because if you're trapped in that situation, you'll never be able to move forward. You'll never be able to go ahead unless you find the root cause and answer that question of what exactly happened to you. Unless you find out what happened to you and what caused you to be the person that you are now, you'll never be able to find yourself. So this video is already going to 10 minutes long. I wrap it up here, but I'll like to continue it in another video at another day. And exactly in the next video, I would like to talk more about finding yourself after encountering or rather experiencing situations where you lose yourself, and you're in a situations where you've lost yourself and you want to find exactly what happened to you. How do you find yourself? How do you move from after answering the question, what happened to you, what next. So that's what I'd like to address in the next video, I believe, and I hope this time it won't take long. Yeah, so yes, I will be answering that in the next video. So thank you for stopping by. As always, I'm going to wrap it up here. My name is Spirit, and this is a Ms.Matheri show, and until next time, bye bye.